Oh,
Yep. Let's get it. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Curtain Call Podcast. I know. We've been hit and miss, but we are here. We are back. We are ready to go. And guess what? It's the Bash at Berlin, and I'm excited for this one. We got so much to talk about. But first, before we do anything, Nacho, tell them what's up, man.
what's up, everybody? As you can see, I've been busy. I'm a dual title holder right now.
Nacho, we don't see you, man. What happened? Where you at?
Bash in Berlin.
Nacho, you froze. No, you froze. We can't see you. Are you doing your John Cena thing? What happened? Where you at?
My greatness was too great.
Oh, Nacho.
I'm just a black
Ladies
screen.
and gentlemen, Nacho has disappeared on us. All we have is a black screen here on YouTube. Oh, man. Nacho's gone. Well, look, you're still gone, Nacho.
I'm still gone.
You're still gone, man. You ain't around, man. You ain't around. Well, look, while Nacho gets all that figured out, we're gonna do a quick recap of a couple things before we get into the Bash in Berlin. Our predictions on what we might see at the show, what we would like to see. We're also going to talk about a few other things. We're definitely going to get into Summerslam. I know Summerslam was a while back, but Nacho and I both were there. Nacho, now you're moving around. Now we can see you. We can see him. He's the double champ, two-time champ. Call him champ. There you go. The world heavyweight title, the undisputed title. So we got a lot of things that we're going to go through. But first, Nacho, do you know what time it is?
Is it trivia time?
It's trivia time, Nacho. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
We are going to go back all the way. We're going to go back to 1999. Nacho, remind everybody, how old were you in 1999?
-1 years old.
-1 years old. Well, something happened when you were -1. It was in 1999. The Big Show and The Undertaker lost the WWF Tag Team titles on Monday Night Raw. Nacho, any idea who they lost it to?
Well, no.
I'll give you a hint. They're both big-time wrestlers as singles wrestlers. They were just thrown together, but man, they had some memorable moments, hilarious moments, and it was a connection that really clicked well.
Are they still active as wrestlers?
One is not active. The other one just had a match at WrestleMania.
No, I don't have any bite.
You tap?
I'm tapping.
The Rock and Sock connection. The Rock and Mankind beat the Big Show and The Undertaker to win the WWF Tag Team titles in 1999 on this day on an episode of Raw.
No,
we got one more for you. This is someone's theme song who is an active wrestler. I'm going to read you the first few lines, and you tell me who this theme song belongs to. If you're watching on YouTube right now on the live, if you want to go ahead and throw in who you think it is in the chat, if anyone else is out there, or if not, if you watching this later on and you right away knew, just right away go ahead and put it in the comments. All right, it says, and during the next few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand. I'm going to read it again. You ready, Nacho? And during the next few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand. Nacho.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time you said it, I had no idea. But luckily, I have the version of this song on my playlist that plays this because it doesn't say it when he comes out right now. I was gonna grab the action figure, but you're lucky that he's got some people in front of him because that is Mr. CM.
Look at my eyes, what do you see? That's a Cult of Personality by the group Living Color. Probably one of the greatest songs before CM Punk even started using it. It was definitely a banger. I used to listen to it a lot. Then CM Punk started listening to it. There's no way he could go back to any other song because that's CM Punk all day. Cult of Personality. Nacho. Man, let's get into it, bro. Let's get into it. Start us off, man. What we doing?
Before we get into it, I got to show something off. I showed you a picture. This is a plug for me because some of the loyal fans may know I'm an avid figure collector. I like me some figures. I be getting all the wrestling figures. Sometime last year, I went to my second wrestling show with my brother, and we were hyped because it was when Carlito was starting to show up with the LWO. They were gonna be there with them, like they had a match. I think Carlito had a match against some random person. I don't remember who it was at this point. And I was all hyped because that morning, this item went up for pre-order.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, what a coincidence. Wow. Because I was still pretty fresh, new into wrestling. We get to the show after I bought this item, and Santos Escobar turns on the LWO. Heartbroken. But now, after all that time, it's here, ladies and gentlemen.
The whole thing! Yes! That's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful collection right there.
It's all dark in my room for some reason, but
that's a beautiful collection right there.
Got them all. They're on the back. Got the LWO on the top. Beautiful.
You know what's crazy is that I wish they would have kept the faction a little bit longer.
Me too.
As the LWO like that, I really do.
The Zelina Vega is definitely the standout with the Puerto Rico flag.
Because then you had Carlito turn on. I mean, it's like, and you know what's crazy about that is, so we all know that Joaquin Wilde is he's not Hispanic. You know, he's actually Filipino. And then you have the other three guys are all Mexican, and Zelina Vega, obviously Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. But if you look at Rey Mysterio's shirt, he doesn't have the Mexican colors on. He has the Puerto Rico colors on.
Yep.
Thought that was pretty cool. Yep. You know, and you know what? For all the Puerto Ricans that watch this, and they've always wanted somebody to represent Puerto Rico, WWE has done a very, very wonderful job in doing that. Because Damian Priest's shirts, they all have something to do with Puerto Rico. His attire, his ring gear, all has something to do with Puerto Rico in it. The other day, he wore a shirt that was amazing. It was his own shirt, a Damian Priest shirt, but all the symbols were all Taino Indians and Taino Indian symbols, which, you know, that's what it is. Chase, viva la raza. There you go. Chase watching us all the way from college.
He's home.
Back in. Oh, he is home?
He's home for the weekend.
Oh, he's home for the weekend. Chase is home for the weekend. So, Nacho, man, let's get into it, man. What's first on the docket?
So, ignore the first slide. We're actually going to skip the first slide before I put it up. We are going to start this off with a nice little recap of our experience at SummerSlam because Spanish Fly and I were both in attendance for SummerSlam Cleveland.
Hey, first of all, Cleveland showed up.
They did.
Cleveland showed up. I'm so happy for the city of Cleveland. They really showed up. Over 57,000 in attendance. That's, to me, that was amazing. To be a part of that, to witness that. A great night of action. I've said before that when you're in a stadium, the pop is big, but it leaves the stadium really quick because it doesn't travel. It just travels right out the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, the way that stadium was built in Cleveland, that sound just hovered.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about when you thought that the pop couldn't get any louder, certain wrestlers came out and the pop just got louder and louder and louder. You could definitely hear the building. You could definitely feel the building shaking. What do you thought, Nash?
Yeah, it felt like the audio, instead of going up and out, it felt like it came down. Because
back down, yeah.
You were kind of in the middle of the arena. I was on the floor. And so we had two different kind of experiences with everything. For me, every time someone came out, my eardrums were like shaking.
Yeah.
From the pop. Like, it was nuts. The energy. At times, I think I got so used to it after like halfway through the show, I was almost nervous because I wasn't picking up on all the sound as much unless it was like a specific cheer, like a chant people were doing, because I was just tuning it out at that point, just getting used to the actual environment. But like when I rewatched some of the like actual matches and everything on TV, I could not believe how loud Cleveland got. I'm really happy because I know at certain PLEs that happen in the US, we've noticed it's gotten quiet, especially on like just normal shows. It's pretty quiet sometimes in the audience, but Cleveland kept the energy going the whole night.
Absolutely.
Loved it. So I wanna share. So this was kind of my big end of the summer hurrah for me and my brother. We kind of
okay.
I wanted to go out something big. So we last second we weren't even going to go to SummerSlam. You had your tickets. We weren't going to go, and then I found a deal. So we ended up getting tickets the week of to go to SummerSlam, and I wanted to treat him a little bit. So some of you may have seen, if you follow us on the social media, we have a particular member of our family who's a big Jey Uso fan. And so last time that we went to Raw, when they were in Canton, Ohio, we took this sign and we actually made it on TV at one point.
Yep.
You can see us in the background. Jey Uso was there. He got to see it. And so I didn't tell my brother that we were going like early to see Jey Uso or anything, but I told him we were going to check out the like shops they had there. They had some merch shops and everything. I figured it would be busy. So we went a little early, but in the back of my mind, I saw some of these go up, and I snagged one of these before they sold out. We got a photo op with the man himself, the main event, Jey.
That is so awesome.
With our
That's
sign.
so cool.
He was saying that our dog seemed cool and that we should bring her next time because she seemed pretty chill to hang out with. He just kept saying, "Bring your dog next time." Woo. So overall, great start to the weekend. Getting to meet Jey Uso, getting to get our sign. People had said they had seen the video of our dog, so if you have not seen it, check it out. I have it linked on our socials. Our dog is doing the little yeet for Jey Uso every time his music comes on, so just wanted to give a little shout out there for our little experience starting off the weekend. But then,
what's your dog's name?
It's Mia.
Mia. Okay. All right.
Mia. So we, like I said, we were on the floor. We had several people walk by us while we were on the floor. That right there, if you can see,
Jelly
Roll came by us a couple times. We got to see the man himself, Jelly Roll. The Miz walked by us a couple times after his little opening. In his suit, so that was cool. The whole arena, I will say, the people were great to be around. There wasn't much negativity going on. Like, I didn't see any fights. I didn't hear anyone really being rude or annoying. But I will say, to start the show, we had quite the experience with the Rhea Ripley match. We actually ended up missing most of the actual match. I haven't told you this. I've been waiting to say it on the show. We start the show. Jelly Roll. Happy as can be. It's Jelly Roll. The show starts. Rhea makes her entrance. I'm texting my girlfriend because she didn't get to go, and she's a huge Rhea Ripley fan. I sent her the intro from what we could see. Great, like, living life. All of a sudden, I noticed some motion coming down our row, and my brother is on my side. And so the seats we were in had stickers on the back that had numbers, and all the seats that we were in were like scratched off. But we counted the numbers based on where we were, and we were in the right seats, we thought. These kids start coming down the aisle. Everybody's standing up at this point, so it's just a huge mob coming down our little section. And all of a sudden, I see them pointing at my brother. So I look over to see what's going on. This is like as the entrances are still going on. I think like it was Dom coming out or something. I don't know. Like Liv was coming out at this point. So these people come up. It's like 5 kids. They're coming in like last second for some reason. And they're like, "You're in our seats." And we're like, it's blasting music. People are screaming. We can't tell what they're saying. We're just like, we don't know what's going on. We're like, just wait until it kind of calms down for a second. We will figure it out. And so one of them just sits on the ground because there is not enough seats for all of them. It ends up being where there's a guy that was in our section before us to our right. He was in the wrong seat the whole time. And so we were one over to the left. Security came up and had the guy move. Luckily, he after a couple of tries, he was just like, okay, and he moved to the section in front of us and just sat in someone else's seat that wasn't there. Yada, yada, yada. Things blow over. We're like, okay, let's not let this affect us. Just get back to the show. The match has started at this point. Everybody's sitting down. We were nice to the people. People were nice back to us at this point. Let's just watch the show. All of a sudden, like a minute later, we start hearing people scream two rows in front of us. And so I look over. What's going on? Because it's not like cheering scream. It's people shrieking for help. Look over, and there's a guy having a full-on seizure from something, and they're screaming for medical. It takes 5 minutes for someone to come help. The man is on the ground at this point. Like people are screaming, running out into the open section because there was like an open section where drinks were able to purchase drinks. There was staff, but they weren't doing anything because they weren't medical. So finally, after like 5 minutes, the person's on the ground. They have a medic come out in a red shirt. They come, they wheel him away. We get back to the show. I'm shaking at this point because I don't do well with any of that stuff. This is like match is ending at this point once everything gets resolved. Like missed the whole match. So that like I'm like, okay, is this gonna be the vibe for this show? Like, so we end up seeing all this stuff with Dom and all the things he did. Halfway through the show, the guy came back and the whole section like cheered for him. He had water. It was probably
You're hardcore. You're hardcore.
Yeah. But it was like to start the show that way with like we almost got kicked out of our section and someone almost died. Like,
welcome to Cleveland, baby.
Yeah. I was like, whoa. I don't know if you had any crazy experience like that.
Yeah, the whole entire time in my section, there was a guy sitting next to me, and he did commentary for every single match. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I will send you the video, and next time we do a pod, I want you to show it. When I'm telling you for the entire match, every match, he did commentary. Obviously, he was there by himself. He was maybe in his mid-20s, but you could tell he wasn't all there. Mm-hmm. And for the entire PLE, for entire SummerSlam, every single match, he did commentary. And I wouldn't mind if the commentary was good, but it was really horrible.
Was he recording himself, or he was just saying it to himself?
No, he was just sitting there. Oh, what a hit by Rhea Ripley. And then Liv Morgan gets up. Oh, she's going for the... You know, it's like, I want to elbow him so much. When who was it? I think it was when Roman came out. He was like, he's here. He's here. Is it him? Could it be? Could it be? It's him. I was like, dude, if you don't shut the... Oh, well. Hey.
Chase commented Shrek on this because one of the people that were like telling us we were in the wrong seats. Full on dressed up as Shrek. He had the hat, he had the face paint, he had the outfit on. Don't know why. But then the part that ticked me off about these kids, last thing I'll say about this before we move on, halfway through the show, they'd go and get drinks, we assume. The line for drinks was long. So I saw
it was.
Line. I noticed that, like, 3/4 of the way through the show at this point, they haven't come back yet, and the seats are all empty. People ended up coming up and just sitting there with their kids. And then, like, when I was looking to the stage, I noticed the Shrek hat. They had gone up and taken someone else's seats 2 sections up. After they, like, made a whole fuss about us and almost got us kicked out of our section, they went up and took someone else's seat. I was like, really?
Hey, Nacho, you want me to tell you something?
Tell me.
So, I went and got food 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
3 times I got food. Okay? Every time I went to go get food, it was right after a match happened,
mm-hmm.
and I would run and go grab food, me and my son. And do you know the longest it took for us to get food? The longest, 3 minutes.
Really?
You know why? The section we were sitting at was called the 7-Up Club.
Oh.
And only people in that section can buy the food in that area. And it's really, really fancy. Carpet, air conditioning, bathrooms are great. So there was no lines. There was, and then when you go into that section, there's somebody there. It's a double door, and there's a lady there and asks to see your ticket. If you don't have a ticket to be in that section, they ask you to leave. So, and the drinks were, from what I hear, the drinks were cheaper in that section than the rest of the arena.
This picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
This was
wow.
This is. I understand if you take a kid to the show and they can't see and you want them to stand up in the chair. This kid was taller than me.
Dude, I would have kicked the chair. I would have kicked Chase. I would have kicked the chair.
His dad was standing up too. They were standing the whole time, but he kept getting up on the chair. And I was like, dude, you are taller than me and you're standing on the chair blocking everyone. There were kids behind me that kept saying, I can't see because the guy keeps standing. And I was just like, the dad was like, then stand up on your chair. But like, this kid was taller than me standing on the chair. I'm like, and security kept walking by and they weren't saying anything. Like, dude, because you're blocking the screen from me too. Like, I can't see anything if you're standing like this.
Idiot.
I am. And then, so this was my view of you.
Hey!
You see the flag. I took a video and got a little closer. You can see in that red shirt, he's screaming with the flag. This was during Damien's entrance. And let me tell you, the Damien match was awesome. I have been someone who has been mixed on. Chase said he wanted to kick this. He said he wanted to kick the chair so badly. I've been mixed on Damien during his title reign. I'll say that. I've liked him, but I've never fully been like, I'm a fan of Damien. And something about his entrance and just the reception that he got in this match made something click for me. And I am like a full-fledged Damien fan at this point. I wanted him to win the match. When I saw you with the flag, Chase said he was like, I felt emotional and I wanted him to win because I was there.
Hey, look, when he came out, we're just going crazy, of course. There was a lot of Puerto Ricans there. You also got to understand that weekend was the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Cleveland, that same day. Mm-hmm. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was the Puerto Rican Day Parade. There was a lot of Puerto Ricans in the crowd. He got a humongous pop. We're going crazy, screaming our heads off. Got the Puerto Rico flag, as you can see. As soon as his music stopped, that we put down the flag and we sit in our seats and we're smiling and everything. I look over at my son and I said, yeah, he's losing the title tonight. I was like, yeah, he's good.
I was devastated.
But you know what? It's a good story. Good storytelling for that match. And it was a great match. I was very happy with that match. So, hey, but shout out to Damian Priest, man. Thank you for putting Puerto Rico on your shoulder like that and wearing us proudly. And that to me, that's awesome. There's been a lot of Hispanics champions, a lot of Hispanic superstars, but there hasn't been a lot of them in the WWE that represent Puerto Rico. You had Pedro Morales, you had Carlito, and now Damian Priest. So I mean that's pretty cool that we can, of course there's other people that are in the WWE that have Puerto Rican blood in them, like Karrion Kross has Puerto Rican blood in them. Selena Vega, of course, she wears it proudly. She's Puerto Rican. There's quite a bit of wrestlers that you will be surprised. Oh snap, they have Puerto Rican in them as well. But Damian, what he's doing is amazing. He continues doing it, whether he's a heel or babyface. He said in the interview, whether I'm a good guy, whether I'm getting cheered or whether I'm getting booed, one thing's for sure, Puerto Rico is always going to be shown in everything I do. So shout out to Damian.
Yeah.
What else we got, man?
Okay, so I mentioned I met some people. This is Derek from the Challenge. Any of you people who watched the Challenge, Derek was there. Darrell was there as well. I ran up to him. I said, "Hey, what's up? I'm a big fan of the show." He was super nice. They were all just hanging out. At some point, they all just, like, a bunch of people just started gathering by, like, the drink section, the porta potty section, because it was just a big open area. Everybody was just walking around talking for like the last half of the show once it got kind of dark. So that was pretty cool. He was super nice. Let me take a picture. And then I was messaging you because I was like, I think that Zilla Fatu is on this section. And you sent me. Let me tell you, in this arena, I could not get any connection. So I kept having to turn my phone onto airplane mode and back on or off of it.
Really?
Because then I would get like a jump of connection before it would cut back out. I had zero connection after that. So I kept having to do that and waiting for your response. And you were like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure." And then he kind of got blocked for a second. And I thought he walked away or got moved to a different section. And then I saw him again. And I kept leaning over to Chase. And I'm like, "I think I'm going to go take a picture with him." He's like, "No, don't bother him." I was like, "That's still a Fatu. I feel like I mean, nobody's with him. I feel like I should just walk up and ask." He's like, "No, just watch the show. There's a match going on right now."
Chase.
I got up and I went and I was like, "Can I get a picture?" And his manager was like, "Oh yeah," took my phone. And then I had to call you after the show because I'm not as familiar with a bunch of these indie people or newer people. And I was like, "Hey, this is the picture." When I went over, he was the first one to like put his arm around me, and then Zilla got in the picture. "Do you know who that is?" And you were like, "Yeah, that is Mark Henry's son that just signed with the WWE." And I was like, "Oh,
it was so great." You were like, yo, I got that picture with Zilla. I was like, "Yo, that's fire." And with Jacob, and you were like, "But who's the other guy?" I said, "Dude, that's Jacob Henry. That's Mark Henry's son. He just signed."
Let me say, they were both super nice. They went up, they took the picture. They were like, "Have a good night, man." But then I noticed as like his manager pointed at me, he's like, "You got that one." And then he pointed at Zilla and said, "Go stand behind those guys." Because then I saw a couple other people walking up, and he was like, So I got like the last picture with Zilla. I was happy about that. He was supposed to be at another event, but I heard he had flight troubles, so he didn't get to go to that indie show, and so he went to Cleveland instead.
We'll see.
So,
what else we got, man?
All right. So unless you have anything else to say about SummerSlam or your experience, I had a pretty good experience.
SummerSlam was fire, man. CM Punk's pop was humongous. The return of Roman Reigns, humongous. Yep. Cleveland with the Cody Rhodes, whoa, humongous. Yep. All in all, a great night of wrestling, something I'll never forget. I marked it off my bucket list because your boy, the Spanish Fly, by the grace of God, I've been able to do a WrestleMania, a Royal Rumble, a Survivor Series, and the fourth one, to knock that fourth one of the original 4 pay-per-views, I finally got to do SummerSlam. So That was pretty epic. Got to be there with my wife and my son. That was epic. Had great food. It was a long drive back home. I should have stayed at a hotel, but we got in. It was all in all great night. We was hyped to pass the time as we were driving back. Man, we just put on the Peacock on the phone, put it in the car, and watched it on the way back. So that was pretty cool. Really, really good. All in all, great show, man. Great show.
Yeah, I wish we could have met up, but it was kind of crazy walking through those.
Crazy packed, man. God, it was crazy packed.
I didn't have any reception. My phone was just, my battery was draining getting back to the hotel. We barely made it back, mapping it out. So
check this out, Nacho. So we were fortunate enough to park right next to the stadium, right? Like literally right next to the stadium. I think I paid like $45 or something like that. Right there. When we leave, we cross over a little bridge that they had on that side, got in our car. We were literally out of the parking lot within 10 minutes. But once we got down into the flats, it took us an hour to get out of there.
Yeah, because when I called you asking about the picture, you were like, I'm already
driving. I was already in the car.
I just got out of the arena.
Yeah. And boy, we saw some crazy things in the flats. But all in all, it was a great night. But I'm excited for this bash in Berlin. I'm excited for it. Let's get into it. Tell me, what's the first match?
First match in Berlin, Germany, Mercedes-Benz Arena, Bash in Berlin. We don't know the order. Just disclosure, we don't know the order of the show or what the matches are going to be. We just put these in order. So we're just going to start off with the women's tag team or tag title match. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus
Alba Fire. Who you got?
Who was the second one?
You asked me too quick.
Alba
you
Fire
asked me too quick.
They have not been on TV enough times for me to recognize them. That's just the way they've been booked. So just personally for me, I would like to see the tag belts go back onto Bianca and Jade just because they haven't built up this faction for me enough and I just don't have any interest in it personally. Just based on the way the show has promoted them to me. So that is my pick. Might be unlikely pick, but I would like to see the tag belts go back on to Jade and Bianca.
That's a fair assessment. My feelings on this match, you're right. I think the tag division for the women's tag team champions really haven't done much. They need to be a little bit shown a little bit more prominently on TV, on all brands. But I think that changes. I think that they're going to start doing more of that. I don't think the titles are changing hands. I actually think that Bianca Belair turns heel and starts something with Jade getting ready to get into Bad Blood in Atlanta. That's where I'm thinking. These titles will go back to their rightful owners. Chase, I gotta disagree with you, man. I gotta disagree with you. I'm thinking it's gonna stay there because I really think that the story is Bianca and Jade.
Do you think?
I really do.
Do you think Naomi or Blair will get involved in any way?
I think Naomi would try to no, don't do this. Don't do this. Like, y'all can't do this. But for some reason, I can see Bianca turning heel. And a lot of people have been wanting this for a while. You know, my personal opinion is if you're saying you're the greatest, I am the EST, I am the fastest, the best, you're the EST, that's something a heel will say. That's not something a babyface would say. You know what I'm saying? So I think Bianca turns heel. And I think that sets up the feud with Jade Cargill. And we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. You can even have Jade pair up with Naomi for a bit while they build up Bianca as a heel. Well,
yeah.
Next up, we have a strap match. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Who have you got in this matchup?
This, first of all, this story is not done. This story is not yet done, in my opinion. That being said,
did you see that Drew has a movie coming out on the 13th, and he was doing promo, or he was doing interviews for the movie, and he was showing the bracelet that he had for the interviews on these
nice
pages?
I love it. I love that. I love that. So this feud is not over. It's going to go to Bad Blood. I hope to see it in a cage match. I hope to see them busted open and bleeding. That being said, CM Punk's going to win this match. If you listen to the crowd in Berlin, and you'll hear it tonight, and you'll definitely hear it tomorrow, Gunther's probably going to get the loudest pop. If he doesn't get the loudest pop, it's because that man, CM Punk, Chick Magnet Punk, is going to get the loudest pop. Those people love him in Germany. I think there's no way he loses his strap match. Man, you know, there's going to be some marks on people's bodies, both Punk and McIntyre, because you know they're very stiff. So they're going to be smacking each other hard with that belt. But I'm excited to see how this goes. But I give it to CM Punk because this is not over yet. What do you got?
Before I say, who leaves with the bracelet?
Punk.
Punk leaves with the bracelet.
Unless Punk wins, takes the bracelet, and before he leaves, Drew does one of his things again, knocks him out and grabs the bracelet again. Let me tell you something, and that's something you gotta look, man. If you have not watched the CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, you need to watch it.
Yeah,
they told such an amazing story. And then when you watch it, it's different from when you're watching it live than when you're watching it on TV. Why? Because when you're watching it live, you don't hear what they're saying in the ring. When you go back and rewatch it, the things that Punk was saying, the story, that bracelet, something as simple as a bracelet, they've made it as important as a championship belt.
Yeah.
And it's, to me, that's what storytelling's all about, man. And that's what WWE is so good at right now. And AEW is far from that right now. So, yeah, Punk all day. Who you got?
I agree. I think Punk. I would like to see a similar finish. I haven't actually seen the match, so I won't say finish, but I would like to see, like in the match he had with MJF in the dog collar match, I would like to see maybe like a choke out with the strap. I think that would be pretty cool.
But remember this match, they got to touch all four corners.
That's true.
This isn't this isn't like a typical strap match. In this match, they got to drag their opponent and hit all four corners. Like when John Cena fought Rusev at WrestleMania, that John Cena had to go and touch all four corners. And then you touch one, you touch two, you touch the third, you go to the fourth, and you're reaching and trying to touch that fourth, you're trying to touch, and you get knocked down. You got to start all over again. So I think this is going to be very interesting because obviously Drew McIntyre outweighs CM Punk.
Yeah.
So think about it. CM Punk puts him to go to sleep. Now he's got to drag dead weight around to touch all four corners. It's going to be great storytelling. I'm telling you, this is going to be epic.
I'd like to see Punk win. I think if Punk wins and Drew isn't unconscious, I think that he attacks Punk in.
Absolutely.
Leaves him a little bruised.
Chase, who you got, man? Is Chase still on there? Chase, I want you to join in with the predictions. Let us know who you got on this match.
But
go ahead, Nacho.
I think I agree with you on that one.
All right. Well, while Chase leaves his comment, all right, who we got? Sadly, Punk will get this. What do you mean, sadly? Chase, are you not a Punk fan? What is this?
When we first watched, and I was the Cena head, he was a Punk fan. He loved Punk when we were kids. And now, he loves him some DM Hunk.
Oh, my God. but Drew will be victorious in the long run. DM, you know what, Chase? You sound like a true heel right now. Nacho, what's the next one?
Next up,
Get God, DM Hunk, get out of here with that. That's horrible.
Up, we have my girlfriend's most anticipated match maybe of ever, because she is the biggest Terror Twins fan.
Oh, I thought you said my girlfriend. I was about to say, hey, your girlfriend hears you saying that these girls are your girlfriend, boy.
No, my girlfriend is the biggest fan of the Terror Twins.
Yes, my wife loves Rhea Ripley right now.
She hates Liv Morgan with a passion more than.
And my son loves Liv Morgan.
So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with this match, because I feel like they've mostly been promoting the Judgment Day, and they've given the Terror Twins these little promos backstage, and then they're the ones that come out and they attack the last second. They haven't really gotten to demonstrate much in terms of like their how do I say this? But like I'm wondering how this match is actually going to play out in terms of like how they match up against each other and how the whole mixed match will actually play into it. Because I've never seen a mixed match before, I don't think.
Okay, so it's very simple. If the female wrestler tags the male wrestler, the other female wrestler doesn't have to tag the male wrestler. He automatically is in.
What about
okay?
Rhea?
So, for example, let's say Rhea's fighting Liv, and Liv tags Dominic. Automatically, Rhea can't touch Dominic. Damian Priest is automatically in the match.
But Rhea Mommy could power slam him.
Mommy could definitely power slam, but
she's not allowed to. Will she get DQ'd?
Huh?
Will she get DQ'd if she?
I don't think she'll get DQ'd, but she's the illegal man in the ring at the moment. What did Chase say? Damian will dominate, but Liv will get in the way to help Dom. Okay, so Nacho, I want to be able to, because I know you're a new wrestling fan and all that. I want you to take your fandom out of this match. Okay. Who do you think wins, and why should they win?
Personally, I would like to see the Terror Twins win.
No. Take the personally out of there. I want you to think logically. Who should win this match? Answer me like if you're thinking logically. And if logically you think it's the Terror Twins, then fine, say that, but don't say personally, because you're still putting your fandom in it.
Are we thinking about if there's involvement, or just if it's no involvement, just these two?
No involvement.
No involvement? Then it should be the Terror Twins. If this is
okay.
Yes.
There's no way Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest should walk out of Berlin victorious.
No, I think they
because then there's nothing else there. There's no other story to be told.
But I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about physical.
Physical. If they were to really for real fight each other, shoot each other, shoot fight, then yeah. But there's no way Damian and Rhea should win this match. And I'm on Damian and Rhea Ripley's side. Mm-hmm. I want to rip that mustache off of Dominic's face like his dad said. But if they win, there is no story to be told. And remember, there's a pay-per-view coming up called what? Bad Blood.
Bad Blood.
So you got to be able to wring a lot of juice out of this.
True.
So the way you do this is you have Dom and Liv win. And how do you do it? You either have Dom pin Damian Priest, or you can get Dom to pin Rhea Ripley. Now, I know once you tag in, the other person's in. I know. But I'm just saying, can you imagine? Now, listen to this. Can you imagine on Monday when Dom and Liv come out to the ring, the amount of heat and booze they're going to be getting of that match? Can you imagine how obnoxious and annoying they'll be when they're standing in the audience and and Damian and Rhea's in the ring, and they go, "Hey, we beat y'all. Y'all couldn't get it done." And then now, are they going to win cleanly? No, absolutely. There's going to be some outside interference, but Dom and Liv wins this match. In my opinion, it's the only way that makes sense. If they don't win this match, then I don't want to see a rematch. I don't want to see a rematch because it shouldn't. I want to see long storytelling, and by having Dom win, that's what you got. So just like Chase said Damian dominates, but Liv will get in the way and help Dom. Absolutely. Dominic wins.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny return for Bad Blood. Bad Bunny and Damian side. Time for Dom and Finn.
No, he has not been posting for Damian. He's been posting that he's been liking Dom and Liv stuff. I don't know if you've seen that recently. He's been posting pictures of them a lot.
Who?
Bad Bunny.
Of Dom and Liv?
Yeah. Last we saw him, wasn't he fighting Damian?
He'll be back on Damian's side. Watch. Bunnies can fly. What else we got, man? What else we got? SmackDown's coming up soon.
Next up, second to last match.
Woo!
We have the Ring General.
The Ring General.
Versus Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The
Randy's chasing number 15.
It is Nutella. Eating jars of Nutella.
So what do you think?
I don't think he's winning. I don't know.
There's no way Gunther loses this title.
No.
Gunther, like Chase says.
This will push him further into his title reign. Give him a big name. Let him kill the Legend Killer.
Randy takes a vacation after this.
Yeah, he's gonna go play the new Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah, and the question though is, who's next for Gunther? That's the question.
I know who they've been promoting him with in the dark matches.
Well, Dragunov.
Yep.
But we know Dragunov's not going to take the title off him.
No.
Yeah, it says Gunther ends up injuring Randy a couple weeks. Yeah, I agree with Chase on that. Randy gets hurt. He's off TV for a little while. Yeah, I agree.
Pretty big name dominating on Monday Night Raw. He just put a monster through a
Hey,
car.
man, Bronson Reed ain't no joke, man.
Mm-hmm. If there's someone who deserves the World Heavyweight Championship,
Bronson Reed.
Is Bronson.
Now, who else we got?
Next up, the final match of the night. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, versus Kevin Owens, the WWE Undisputed Championship.
Okay.
Do you think Kevin Owens is going to end the American Nightmare's reign? No. Do we think Kevin Owens will turn on a friend? He's been on everyone's good side recently. He hasn't been turning his back on friends for a while.
Yeah, we got a little glimpse of that last Friday when he had the belt and he rushed Cody and Cody was left kind of wondering. It's the first time we've seen Cody kind of like wondering, is he going to turn on me? We haven't seen Cody look like that. You know what? I don't think Kevin turns heel. I think that eventually he probably will, but I don't think he'll do it this soon. I think they're going to put on a hell of a performance. If he does, I still think Cody wins.
You think it's a clean victory for Cody and they end the show that way?
Yeah. But I don't think this is going to be the main event.
You don't think so?
No.
What are they going to do for the main event? Gunther? Really?
It's basically in his backyard.
True. But I thought they would maybe either open the show with him or... Because I feel like they usually have the person who has Cody's belt close the show. You're right about that. But in this case, because where they're at, I think Gunther takes the main event. Now, if you ask me,
I always say that the world champ should always go on last. The undisputed champion, which is Cody Rhodes. That title should always go on last. Unless there is a match on the card that just surpasses that. The storyline is great and everything. And in that case, in this pay-per-view, there is a storyline that's better than the Cody Rhodes storyline right now, and it's better than the Gunther match right now, and that's CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Yeah. That should be the main event, but the champ needs to go on last, which is Cody Rhodes. But Gunther's also a champ. I think that he takes I think he's going to be the main event. That crowd's going to be hyped for him, man. What did Chase said? Kevin Owens could come after Gunther to avenge Randy. But see, Chase, the problem that I have with that is now we start having SmackDown guys coming over and jumping back and forth, and that's not. I don't want to see that, man.
Now I will ask you this: we have this card. There's not a single Samoan on the card.
That's true.
The Bloodline is going to show up anywhere, because have you been seeing the promos they've been doing on the house shows in Berlin? On their Germany tour?
Yeah, man. Hey, whew, that
like animals. If they're on tonight, they need to bring it because they look scary.
Listen, and you saw that Jacob ain't got the boot on, right?
No more boot.
Look, man, I keep telling you, Nacho, you need to go to YouTube and you need to watch God Wrestling in New Japan. The Gorillas of Destiny, them boys are real. Them boys are real. Definitely tag champs right now, and Jacob is definitely a monster. Yeah, Noah, and you know what's weird? This is the second PLE without Mr. Yeet himself.
Mm-hmm. I've seen
that's another thing. If I were to ask you, name me 5 wrestlers that are completely over right now, if you don't have Jay in the top 3, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So I like what Chase said here. He said there's I feel like Randy will come back from an injury, try to get his shot at Cody's title, and then turn heel once he loses to Cody. There's still time to add a tag title. Yeah, with the Bloodline. Yeah, you're right.
True. There's no
my dog eats for Jay. What's that?
No pre-show match.
No pre-show match. I guess Braun Breaker's not wrestling over there neither, huh?
No, because he's got the tournament.
That's another guy that's over, man.
I think that tournament is going to lead to Braun versus Bronson.
Okay. I like it.
The 2 Brauns.
The 2 Brauns. 1 Braun has got to go. What else we got, man?
That's it for the show. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about from just the show, like the.
Yeah, I got something to get off my chest.
Yeah. We're gonna do full screen for this one.
I got something to get off my chest, and I might get some heat from this from people that watch it. But I'm tired of not saying anything. AEW got to do something. AEW has to do. I do not want to see AEW fold. Why? Because I think having another wrestling promotion helps the business. It helps. But AEW is doing something wrong, man. Tony Khan really needs to let somebody take control of booking and writing story. You know, one thing that upsets me is that Tony Khan said a long time ago, he said that they weren't going to hire people to write storylines that used to write for soap operas like WWE does. And now the lead person one of the lead people of writing storylines is from a soap opera company.
We wouldn't have the Punk match. But we wouldn't have the Punk soap opera. That's the biggest story.
They just they gotta do something. The All-In pay-per-view. So the last time you were out there, you said that you had 80-some thousand people, came out to be 70-some thousand people. And now you hit that same arena and you only can get 50,000 in there.
Yeah.
To me, that's not all in. That's like halfway in. You got AEW's got to do something. Then you get Daniel Bryan beat Swerve. The one that everybody, when Swerve comes out, is going crazy for Swerve. And you have the guy that's going to be retiring this year take the title off of him. And what do? Well, when Dynamite comes, instead of starting off with the champion, you start off with Jon Moxley, who we haven't seen in a while.
Acting like he has a concussion.
The longest story that you guys had was Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah. That was the biggest story you got going in. And instead of putting that match as one of your last 3 matches, you put Britt and Monet, Sasha Banks, and that match was not good at all.
No.
Not good at all.
No.
I'm tired of it, man. It's almost to the point that I feel like I waste my time watching it.
You want to know the sad part?
What's that?
The sad part is there were multiple matches, personally for me, these big matches with multiple people, and I felt like I could follow those matches and understand the story they were telling in the ring, at least somewhat. They were giving people camera time. They were showcasing everyone in those matches, and it wasn't just a mesh of all these random people. I could at least somewhat understand what was going on in the match. But for some reason, the storytelling that goes on outside the ring makes 0 sense. And so you can tell an amazing story in the ring, like with the Toni Storm stuff, because that's where she's performing. But as soon as you go to the outside the ring stuff, it just brings whatever you did in the ring down. Because it's like, where did we just go? And then you come back out to the ring, whole different vibe. And then you go back to backstage. What is going on?
A perfect example was Swerve and Hangman this past Wednesday. Hangman beats him. Then they have a backstage segment where Swerve tells him, I'm in your head. You can't beat me. He just beat you.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You're not in his head. He just beat you.
Yep.
Another one. At their pay-per-view, everybody knew Ricochet was going to show up. Ricochet shows up. He doesn't get a huge pop.
No.
And then within 3 minutes of him being in the match, he's lost in the shuffle because you booked him in a match that everybody knew he was not going to win. If it's his debut, put him in a match a one-on-one match then, and have him win that one-on-one match, where everybody could focus on the move sets that he does, the oohs and the ahs, the flippity, the floppity, all those things. But yet you decide to put him in a ladder match of some sort, knowing he was not going to win that. You give him 3 minutes of great movement, and then he's lost in the shuffle.
I didn't like the way that match ended. I did not like the way that match ended.
Did Ricochet even show up on Dynamite?
Yeah. You know what they did on Dynamite? They booked him one-on-one with Kyle. I don't remember the guy's name.
Kyle O'Reilly?
Kyle Fletcher. The blonde
Kyle Fletcher.
I think, yeah. Let him showcase himself, and he won.
They could have did that at the pay-per-view. If not, they could have had him debut at Dynamite instead.
Yeah.
That's why I said. That's why I said give him 3 major matches. He'll give you one against Will Ospreay. Give him 3 major matches, and unfortunately, we'll be seeing him at Dark. Where's Rusev?
Rusev?
Yeah, where's Miro at? No one knows. When is Kenny coming back? When is Adam Cole coming back?
Adam Cole got hurt again.
This is ridiculous.
People are getting hurt left and right.
But it's weird because they weren't getting hurt in the WWE. Because the WWE has somebody saying, no, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they get out there and whoop, they get hurt. Tony got to go. Prince Nana needs to take over. I feel you. Tony does got to go. Let Mark Briscoe get the world championship. He's all the company needs.
I did see that ahead of Wednesday, Tony said, like, y'all just need to trust me on this ahead of the episode. Nothing changed. There's nothing.
Yeah. Then you have Moxley coming, Dean Ambrose, Moxley coming out and saying, I know it's gonna take some time getting used to, but this ain't your company no more. We all know what it is, man. They're doing an invasion angle.
Yeah.
And he's talking to certain people in the back, Maria Shafir. He's talking to her in the back.
Beat up the security.
We know what this is. It's going to end up being a whole bunch of ex-WWE people. So when Shane McMahon shows up, and that's how petty does Shane McMahon need to be that he still needs to go out there and show himself on wrestling? He ain't doing it for the money because he got money. Then why are you doing it? You trying to stick it to your sister and your brother-in-law? That makes no sense, man.
Did you see what Netflix is doing?
Yeah, that documentary comes out September 25th of Vince McMahon.
Yep.
And it's crazy. What's crazy about it is that it's not going to be nothing pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And this is WWE's new home.
I know.
So they're okay with this. AEW got to do something. Because, unfortunately, your light is dimming little by little. It's dimming. It's dimming. And when you guys started, man, I was glued to that TV every Wednesday. Now, if I miss it, I'll just catch up on X.
You want to know something?
What's that?
It's the picture I showed of our sign at the show in Canton. They're going to be there on the 12th, and I think again in October. AEW is going to be there. The seats we sat at, you can buy seats for front row 3 times less.
There's a there's a site that I follow on X, and I'm not going to give them a shout out because I'm not getting nothing from it. But what they do is they keep track of all the tickets sold for every boxing, wrestling, MMA, all that.
Mm-hmm.
AEW is always literally, it says it's set up to seat 15,000, 12,000, 10,000. Now everywhere they go is set up to seat 7,000. And they barely sell 4,000 tickets. Well, then you know what? Do all your shows over there in London where you can get 50,000 people then. Yeah. Because I guarantee you do another show next year in London, you're not going to even get 50 if the story doesn't change. Story has to get better. I'm done talking about it. I'm done talking about it. I'm tired of talking about it. It feels like it's the same thing all the time. It was my same argument with WWE for a while until they started changing over everything and it started becoming must-see TV like back in the Attitude Era. So you know what? We're done with it. So to get this back on a happier note, I'm excited for Bash in Berlin tomorrow. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for that strap match. That strap match is going to be epic. I'm excited to see who comes out victorious in these matches. I want to see if our predictions are correct. Woo! Nacho holding up that WWE title. Look at that. Look at that.
Tongaloa. This is how
What's
you
that?
Tongaloa.
Oh.
He's the champ. He's the tag champ.
Oh, why you got to do Tonga like that, man?
That's what I look up to.
Oh, my gosh. Look at that. My lights are turning off and everything. You see, you talk smack like that, now all my lights have turned off.
Tongaloa's in the building.
Oh, boo. I can't believe you did that. Well, before I start breaking everything else in here, because it looks like I just dropped everything, we're going to try to make sure that we stay more active with these videos. Chase, thanks for joining us today. Hopefully, maybe we can have Chase on video next time. If he's not in school or not doing anything school related, maybe we can have Chase with us. But Nacho, you have anything else, man?
No, felt good to get back. Felt good to talk again. We messed around with the audio a little bit. Let us know what you guys notice any difference.
Yes.
It sounds a little better. I think it sounds clearer. I'm definitely I don't know if you guys noticed my lights broke, so hopefully I have better lighting next time, so it's not all dark in here.
Yeah.
But I hope.
And I'm still going under some remodeling in here, so that's why it looks like that. But we're getting it together. But
hope you all enjoy.
Make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X. My dog eats for Jay. Make sure you let Mia know, hey, we're yeeting with you. But we are excited. We're always excited to do these shows. SmackDown's about to come on. We'll be live tweeting like we always do, live exiting right there on the X. Follow us, Curtain Call Podcast. Hashtag us, man, Curtain Call Podcast, or add us. That way we can have our conversations on there as well. But if that's all, that's my boy Nacho right there, my tag team partner. And I'm your boy, the Spanish Fly. And you have just listened to the Curtain Call Podcast. We're here at the Curtain Call Podcast. We are always up to talk everything wrestling. We appreciate it. So if there's nothing else, throw it up if you got me. Too sweet, me baby. That's right. And remember that here at the Curtain Call Podcast, we always kick out at 2. I'll talk to y'all later. Let's go watch SmackDown, Nacho.